Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Um, all protocols will be observed. It's nice being here today. I could remember um, back 10 years ago, I was seated like you guys also in the university, listening to TED Talk, right? And it was funny that, most of the people that also came to give their speech were all tech guys. Almost everybody, like 70% of the, speakers were like from the tech industry, and I sat down that day and I was like, they were talking about so many interesting things, application development, how the software works and stuff. And I got a lot of things that day, and I felt like I think I really want to do software engineering. But then I was studying physics. I was not in computer science. So um, when I started my career, I decided to, go into embedded software design, which is mostly, related to robotics, building software, writing softwares for microcontrollers that, power a lot of the electronic, devices that you use in your house and stuff. And then in 2019, I decided to go full-fledged into software engineering. And that's how I started my career in software engineering. Now, today, I'll be talking to you about the currency of exchange for future forward thinkers. Oftentimes when, I meet young folks, youngsters, who are just starting out their career, they want to become something in life, they're looking for career advice, they're looking for mentors to, help them kickstart their career. And, I used to ask them one question. What exactly do you want to do? Are you doing this because you want to make money, or you are doing this because you want to offer value? Most times people don't usually have the right answer to that question at the moment. I usually tell them, go back, sit down and think. What do you really want to do? What you are doing now, or what you want to do in the future? Do you want to do it because you want to make money out of it, or because you want to offer value? Because I can guarantee you that one is going to make you, last longer in whatever career that you want to choose, and you'll be able to kill two stones with one bird. And the other, you will eventually get frustrated. Now, I'm going to talk about the two. If you decide to choose money as the reason why you want to go into it, you are choosing a particular profession or career, I can guarantee you that the time that the money is not forthcoming, you eventually lose interest. You might get really frustrated, and you'll be like, I just feel like quitting. I've been in this industry for the past 1 or 2 years. The money is not coming forth. I see my colleagues, I see people that have gone before me. They've made a lot of money. Why is everything different for me? And then, if what you've decided that you want, the reason why you're going to, choosing this particular career path is because you want to offer value. The thing is, regardless of whether money is coming or not, because you're, providing value for people, you're happy that someone is using whatever you've built. You're happy that someone, is benefiting from whatever value or whatever, thing that you're offering to them. That is more than sufficient, to make you feel proud of whatever career they decide to choose. The guy that came up here to, talk about spoken words is a teacher. And I could see from, the way he was happy about bringing his students, he feels fulfilled in the career operation that he has chosen. And it's because he's providing value to a particular set of people, right? There's still some people in that same profession which is teaching, and they are nasty. The way they even handle their students, the way they talk to their students, the way, they relate with parents, the way they relate to students, you just feel like this person is just in this thing just because they just want to survive. They're not fully invested in it, right? So today we'll be talking about the currency of exchange for future thinkers apart from money. So the thing is, what is going to make you money apart from money? Is what is going to make you rich? What do you need to have as an individual that will make you wealthy, even when you don't even really have that money? You don't have that cash in your hand. I think this is not working. Okay, so just go to the next slide on high value skills. So I'm going to be talking about high value skills. For future forward thinkers are people that you exchange valuable insights, expertise, knowledge. This could be in the form of research, finding cutting edge technologies, and specialized skills. And by years back, when I was in the university and we were supposed to go on IT, right? I had a couple of my friends saying, we want to do our IT in a place that is going to pay us money, right? And then I sat back and I was like, okay, after IT, we are going to do IT for 6 months. You get to work in a company, they pay you maybe like 20 or 30,000 per month as an IT student. That time you are balling, you have a lot of cash in your hand, you can do whatever you like. But after the 6 months, what next? And then I decided, I was going to go to a place that was going to give me the skills that I need outside of school. What is going to make me much money outside of the school environment? After our 6 months of IT training, we had like this long vacation because it always happens in the second semester. And then I came back to school. I decided to go to a place where they taught us, embedded design. I came back to school and I ended up doing projects for almost half of my class, right? And I charged every single one of them for their projects. I made close to over £500,000 from doing projects in university, right? That was more than enough money that any of my colleagues ever made from doing internship in a paid organization. And then, before I even finished school, right, I already had 2 job offers waiting for me because of the skill I had. I was graduating from physics. I already knew how to do embedded systems. I knew how to program microcontrollers and all of that. I had friends reaching out to me that, this company is looking for this guy, they are looking for this. And it was all because of the skill that I had. The money was not in my hand yet, but the money was already calling me because of the particular skill that I had. That is a valuable currency of exchange. Your high value skill is a currency of exchange. Let's move to the next slide. We talk about network and connections, right? I was happy when, during the program, they asked us to, stand up, and interact with each other, make friends, make connections and stuff. I can guarantee you that there's nothing that is better than the gift of men, right? Having people in your corner that you can literally call for anything that you want. Oh, for example, this happened like last week. I was supposed to travel, and then I was like, God, I was already stressed from the week. I did not want to drive. What was I going to do? I just called on, someone I knew that drives very frequently. That, please, I need you to carry me to this other place. Are you available? He was like, yes, he's available. He just said whenever I need him to come, he's going to come around and he's going to take me to wherever I want to. Now, because of the connections I had, I was able to call on someone when I was in need. There's sometimes that when I need to go to the bank, I'll be like, to drive to the bank is super stressful. Who can I call? Most times whenever I go to banks, I try as much as possible to make friends with people on the counter, because there's a day will come when you actually need their assistance, right? Everybody that I meet, I always try to see what value can I get from this person and what value can I give back to this person. It does not necessarily have to be currency exchange. You don't have to exchange money. But the thing is, the time that I would have spent going to the bank, I can use it to do other meaningful things that will probably fetch me money. And that is because of the network and connections that I have. Let's go to the next slide. We talk about impact and influence, right? Making meaningful impact and having influence in shaping the future, are important currencies. This could involve, driving positive change, advocating for important cause, or leading transformative projects. An example is the guy that came outside to talk about photography and how he has used photography to actually transform, the atmosphere. He was talking about, global warming. He talked about, all these things around pollution. That is influence, right? The pictures that he has taken can travel far beyond the shores of Nigeria and take him to places that he never even thought about taking him to, right? And that is what influence can give to you, apart from money. There are a lot of people that are rich today. And there's one common saying that after money, the next thing a rich man wants is power and influence, right? And that's why we have, our new president. He has everything. He has money. Talk about anything. This guy can afford everything. But there was something that was lacking, which was power and influence. And that's why he ran for presidency. So, our next slide, innovation and creativity. Our boss that just left here talked about creativity, innovation. How creative can you be? How fast can you come up with ideas? When you see someone that is really, really creative, you would always want to work with this person. You know that, we are thinking about a solution for this, that. There's that person that you know that, if this person is not in this meeting, at the end of this meeting will be nothing to write them about. But there's someone that, as long as this person is in this meeting, this person is always bringing innovative and creative ideas, right? They are almost like indispensable. You can't do without them. They just have to be there. You can make yourself that kind of a person. You are providing value, right? And the thing is, when you're that kind of person, right, that kind of innovation and creativity can literally open doors for you, like places that you never even thought of reaching. Creativity and innovation can take you. I mean, I'm sure most of us are very conversant on social media, and we watch Lai Wasabi's videos. Lai Wasabi video is one hell of a comedian. And I really, really respect the fact that he created a different niche from himself, different from what every other person does. And sometimes it really takes someone to think like really, really deeply to get some of his jokes, right? The guy cracks. Sometimes when you're like, nah, this guy is not funny. But when you sit down for like a couple of minutes, I think about like, oh my God, this guy is brilliant, right? That's like wasabi for you. And he has been really consistent with what he's doing. And currently, it's like the Nollywood industry is like, this guy has to appear in almost every movie. I'm sure like some months back, I saw that he had, featured in almost like 3 or 4 or 5 movies just in the Nollywood industry. And that's because of his kind of innovation and creativity. Let's go to the next slide. We talk about ethical and social capital, right? Building trust and credibility and reputation is in a community something that is very, very important, right? I remember, when I started my venture capital alongside my partner, and we had like a couple of portfolio companies that were having issues with their softwares, and they're like, what can we do for them? And I told my partner, like, I think what we have to do is we probably have to like build a team for them and also like probably build some of their softwares for them, right? And some of them had, they spent a lot of money, building the software, they've not launched and stuff. And I was like, I'm going to give them a timeline, and I want to make sure that at the end of this timeline, like, we'll be done building this particular, software that they want to build. And then a couple of, months later, we were done. They launched, only for the guy to be like, how were we able to do this fast, right? One thing I try as much as possible to do is also not make promises that I can't keep. Like, if I'm not going to be able to do your job, I'll just be like, I can't do it. Probably I'll help you get someone else, or you have to give this job to someone else. Most times people are always greedy. Because of the money that they feel they are going to make from a particular job, they will take like 10 jobs, and they end up disappointing people on all 10, right? That is going to destroy your reputation. That is going to destroy your ethical and your social capital. People don't want to trust you. I've heard people say, that photographer, I will never call him in my life again. Why? You went for an event. After snapping picture, they will chase you for like 5 months before you release their pictures. Why? Why can't you promise, okay, it will take me 3 months to get your pictures done. At the end of 3 months, it's better to over provision enough time for you to, deliver a job than you to like promise a very short time just so that you can get the job, and then you end up disappointing. If you know a job is going to take you 2 weeks, okay, that is all things being equal. But this is life. All things can never be equal, right? Add that extra 1 week of buffer so that whatever happens, you have extra 1 week to tidy up, and you are able to like deliver whatever you promised to deliver. You build trust, you build credibility in the company, and I can assure you, you will not even need to, look for jobs. People bring jobs to you. They'll be like, do you know someone that can do this? Oh yes, I have a guy. Do you know somebody can do this? I have a guy. Do you know someone that can do this? I have a guy. You don't even need to do advertisements, because people will always, they will always advertise for you, because you've built credibility, you've built trust, you've built your reputation with them. Let's move to the next slide. We talk about time and attention. In a world that is, daunted with lots of information, distractions, the ability to capture people's, and old people's time. You're talking to an audience like I'm doing now. Just imagine if I just came on stage and I'm just saying nonsense. People just get tired. You see people just pressing their phones. They're already tired of what they're saying because they are speaking gibberish. You're not offering any value to them, right? So, time and attention. If you are able to capture people's attention, I could see when those guys were, they were, standing here giving us their spoken words, right? Everybody's attention was on them. We're listening attentively to try to pick the words that they were saying. The ability to capture attention, in a very large setting, in a very large gathering, is one social capital that you need to have as a person, right? And it's one thing that it's not easy to come on stage and start before an audience. You have to practice over time. You have to learn how to do it. And, sometimes I used to tell people that you have to start small, right? I remember a few years back, I used to have the stage fright. Like, I don't like going up on stages. Even when I was in the choir, I would rather stay at the back than stand in the front. You don't want to leave solo, I'll be nowhere to be found. Because I don't just want to be in the front of anybody. I don't just want to talk, right? I just like being the backup. Let's just push some people forward. You people you just stay there. We'll be supportive for you. We'll be your cheerleader. We cheer you from behind, right? That was the kind of person I was, right? Until a particular day, someone said, you are the only representative we have in this particular state. There's no other person to represent us. You just have to do it. I was like, oh my God. I have never climbed stage in my life to go and give a presentation. But then, I decided to discard my fears. I had a mirror in my bedroom. I was talking to the mirror like I was talking to my audience. I was practicing. How will I see this? How will I see this? Okay, I will act, do small, do what I want to do, and then I'll be like, if I go and do this, some people laugh at me. No, let me change it to this style. Let me change it to this style. Only for me to get there. I already pictured, the way the stage would look like in my head, everything. Only for me to get there, and it was an entirely different setting. I was like, that's happened. I also hope I'm not going to flop this one. But, I was listening to other speakers speak, and I just saw that all they just needed to do was to interact with people. Let them relate on the level that you are talking. And that's how you need to gather their attention. If people can relate to whatever you are saying, they understand what you are thinking. You don't have to speak big grammar. Like, you don't have to use, choice words. You don't have to use words that people would have to go and open their dictionary before they even understand what you are saying. You just have to pass your information across in very simple English and very straightforward sentence. And that's what you need to do to capture people's attention. Let's move to the next slide. It's not displaying on the screen. I think it's displaying on the screen. Well, okay, we'll talk about adaptability and resilience. For my Japa people, they've talked about Japa today. Right? I always tell people, don't just leave the country because everybody's leaving. Have a plan. I have a lot of friends that have left, and the reason why they just left is, the country is too hard. The country is too hard. No plan. We just want to japa. The only method that you can japa faster is by doing masters. So you end up going to borrow, sell all your property, get everything that you have, go to another man's land, study a very useless course. Yes, that's what most people do just because they want to leave the country. You study a course that would literally have no value to your life because you want to leave the country. You get there, and after your masters, you have nothing to show for it. You don't have a plan. You don't know. Some people, you're not even sure if you're even going to get a job. You just, let me just leave. When I get there, I'll figure things out. You'll be disappointed. There are a lot of Nigerians sleeping on the streets in London. There are a lot of Nigerians sleeping on the streets in Canada. There are a lot of Nigerians sleeping on the streets in the US. They don't have a plan. They just wanted to leave the country by all means. And now they have nothing to show for it because they sold everything that they ever had in the country. Right? They sold their houses. They've sold, some of them are even scared to come back because of the shame. Right? You've told everybody, I'm going for good. I'm going to greener pastures. You get there. Life was so disappointing. And you don't even have the money to even come back home. Right? If you are going to leave this country, have a plan. Then, you should be somebody that is susceptible to change. Right? If you are someone that is too rigid, or you are so used to the routine that you follow in Nigeria, my dear, the routine that you follow in Nigeria does not apply in UK. There's nothing like a bus is supposed to leave by 7 o'clock, and then you get to the train station 7:01. There's nobody you are going to beg that would open that door for you. At 7 o'clock, the door closes and the train is going to leave. I was on a call with my partner, and it was in the UK. That was like 2 weeks ago. And we were talking on phone, and it was like, he has a train to catch. And we were still talking on phone, he has a train to catch. I could hear his footstep, he was walking. And then I just heard him shout. It was like, oh my God, I just missed the train. Like, the train was literally in his front, and the door was about to close, and he was running. There was like, if it was Nigeria, you'd have said, let me stop. Or they would say, the bus conductor. But someone would say, driver. Oh wow. The driver will wait and then you hop into the bus. But that does not apply, in most of these developed countries. So if you're not someone that you are susceptible to change, you can't adapt to, a new environment, you can't develop a thick skin for some things. Most of these countries, they even experience a lot of racism, right? Someone will just see you and just act, so harshly towards you. And be like, what's going on here? Like, I don't experience this kind of thing in my country. My dear, welcome to Europe. That's Europe for you. Europe is filled with a lot of racists. So if you can't develop thick skin to some of the things that they will do towards you, you will not be able to survive. If you are someone that has hot temper, you just see that one day you just slap somebody. Before you know it, you're back in Nigeria. Abi? So, yeah, adaptability, resilience, developing a thick skin is something that you actually need in this, generation. Future forward thinkers need the ability to adapt to change. They need the ability to be resilient. They need the ability to, develop a thick skin so that they can survive in this current world and have, the right currency apart from money for change. Let's go to the next slide. We'll talk about technology proficiency. Our guy here talked about AI. And there's this common saying I hear from, people, young folks. They'll be like, AI is coming for your jobs. AI is coming for your jobs. This, that. And I'm like, I'm a software engineer. A few weeks ago, they released a bot that could write code from the beginning to the end. I'm not scared because I know AI is not going to come for my job. AI is only going to make me better at my job, right? It will take me an hour to probably build a future. With AI, I should probably be using 15 minutes, right? AI is not going to take my job. Rather, it's supposed to make me a 10x engineer, a 10x better person that I was, a better engineer that I was, because I have the access. I could just tell ChatGPT, okay, I'm trying to write this function. This function does this, that. In less than 30 seconds, ChatGPT is done. Being a better prompt, all you just need to do is be a better prompt engineer. Just tell ChatGPT what you want. I remember this particular feature I was building like some weeks back. We were building a double entry accounting software. And after I'd written the entire code, there was this SQL part that was giving me really, really difficult time. I just told ChatGPT, you are a database administrator. I have this table that contains this column so. And it has this relationship with all these other tables so. This is what I'm trying to do. Can you do this for me? ChatGPT said, okay, sir. In less than 30 seconds, ChatGPT had written the entire SQL query. I just copied it, paste, bam. Run the code. It is working. Oh yeah. Pull requests. I'm done. That's it. Now, the thing is, there was no way ChatGPT could have known what I wanted to do. I needed to tell ChatGPT what I needed to do for it to be able to do that. ChatGPT is not going to enter my code base to come and work for me. But I used ChatGPT to make me faster. I was able to implement the feature I wanted faster because I had the knowledge of AI. I knew how to do prompt engineering. I knew how to tell it exactly what I needed it to do. And it gave me the exact results that I needed. So AI is not going to take your job. AI is going to make you better, a better person. It's going to make you a better, analyst. It's going to make you a better content writer. I know, funny thing, in my company, we hardly write content on our blogs. Everything is automated. artificial intelligence writes our blog post for us. We just give it the topic, give it the context, tell it, okay, we want to write about Africa, we want to write about fundraising, give it a couple of, links to articles that you could find online, train it with a couple of data, and just tell it, at this also day, publish this article. That's what we've done. Nobody writes article in my company. If you go to my blog, our blog posts, you will see a lot of articles. I can guarantee you that 70% of it was written by AI, and you would not know. Now, we still have a content writer in our team. But the content writer normally would write 3 articles, per week. All she just needs to do is review the articles that have been written by AI. She could spend her time doing other meaningful things. Instead of, thinking about spending like almost 8 to 9 hours in a day, thinking about articles, editing, looking for ideas and all of that. AI is an enabler. It is not going to take your job. Right? Apart from AI, there are other skill sets that you need, that would also help you, in this. It's also going to give you a currency of exchange. I know people are always, they always have this bias that it's only tech bros that make money. It's a lie. There are people that make better money than tech bros. Financial analysts. We have hedge fund managers. We have medical doctors in the US. They make way more salary than software engineers. I mean, now. So, it's not only tech people that, would make money. But the thing is, you can use artificial intelligence as an enabler to make you better at whichever professional you decide to choose. As a medical doctor, you need to research on something, you can just go to instead of you searching the internet. In fact, the funny thing is, I hardly use Google these days because I have ChatGPT. Google will give me results, but then I'll still have to be clicking through different pages to find the exact thing that I need. If I go to ChatGPT, just tell it what exactly I'm looking for, it will give me the exact result I want. So ChatGPT has become my search engine instead of Google, right? AI is just going to make you a better person at what you are. And, with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you that there are better currencies in this world than money. The future, you need to have more other currencies of exchange apart from physical cash, right? I've been able to list a couple of points, a couple of skills that you need, a couple of things that you need as an individual to help you, spend a different currency outside money, outside cash in this, new economy. And that is only for future forward thinkers. Thank you.